I said that my field of view video would be my last for NR 2003, but after a request, I want to share my favorite add-ons, tracks, and other things I use for NR 2003, which I hope can make your experience for the game a bit better. As always, everything I talk about will be linked in the description below, so you can try them out yourself. So to start off, these are my favorite car mods that I've used in the past and present. The first is, of course, the Sprint Cup Bullring mod. Although the mod is a year old and still has a long spoiler, it is the most up-to-date as of the making of this video to the look of the Sprint Cup cars today. It comes with the 2015 Daytona car set, but updated paints can be found on Outlaw Graphics and Team SBR. The next car mod I use is Project Wildfire's IROC mod. It is very accurate to the cars run back in the day, and car sets run from the year 1996 to 2006. It is always fun to run against 11 equal cars and to think of what IROC could be if it was still around today. In the link to the car sets for this mod, you will need to scroll down to IROC 96-06 and click on the years to download the car sets. The last car mod I use on a regular basis is the Cup 2000 mod. The cars look great and it is fun to race against the greats like Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, and Mark Martin. The 1999 car set can be found in the description, as well as links to other car mods and car sets can be found in the description below as well. Next, I want to talk about the tracks I normally use for NR 2003. As you probably have seen in my previous videos, I do not really use the new tracks that come out. They're usually too hardware intensive, or the AI behaves weirdly compared to the tracks that came with the game. The only tracks I use that are not in the game are the great BR tracks, or Brian Ring tracks. If you haven't heard of these tracks or Brian Ring, what he did was modify the files in the original tracks so that they matched the lines and how the cars drove in real life. They were so good, in fact, that Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. used these skills they learned in the game to win at Talladega.
There's this track we race on. It's a modified Talladega track where the high lane has more grip than a low lane, and the high lane usually is the fastest way around. So we were joking around under caution that we were going to go to the high lane.
Tell Bart, it's like Talladega BR, and he'll know what I'm talking about. Talladega BR.
In the video game, me and him race against each other all the time, and we always work together at the restricted plate tracks. And so, you know, we were just trying to figure out how we would work together.
Joey told him Talladega BR, and he said, "Hell yeah!"
It was pretty obvious when he said it what he was going to do, what he wanted to try to do. And we've done it a million times on the game, and figured we might as well try it on the racetrack, I guess, and it worked out really good.
Martin Truex Jr. gets the win.
Unfortunately, around 2005, the makers of NR 2003 went after Brian for legal actions after it was thought he used the EXE file to create the tracks and future tracks that were going to be labeled BR 2004. After threats by the soon-to-be makers of iRacing, he disappeared and stopped hosting and making the BR labeled tracks. Thankfully, though, most if not all the tracks can be found on Open Speedway's track files. Lastly, I want to go over the add-ons I use to make it easier to modify aspects of the game. The first thing is N-Ratings. N-Ratings is a tool that calculates the driver's ratings based on the actual stats. Inside the tool, you can use different formulas based on the tracks that you use or what works best for you, but for me, I keep it at Duper Average Finish version 2.6. Another and last tool I use is the NR 2003 editor, which allows you to make your own seasons using the original tracks and modded tracks. What can make this easier is to use an updated schedule file from nnracing.com and then swap tracks with the tracks that you use. So I hope you liked this video, and if you use any mods or add-ons that I didn't mention, put it in the comments below. Like I said at the beginning, everything I talked about will be linked in the description below. And once again, my name is TheBenCrazy, and I will see you later.